In the early hours of a serene Sunday morning on June 10, 2012, Kenya awoke to the chilling news of a catastrophic Eurocopter AS-350 helicopter crash. The aircraft, bearing the registration 54I-CDT, belonged to the Kenyan Police Air Wing and had met a fiery end in the Kibiku area of Ngong Forest. Shock and disbelief swept through the crowd of onlookers who had rushed to the crash site, where the wreckage smoldered and several bodies laid motionless, some charred beyond recognition.
Jesus Christ, Jehovah.
Ill-fated helicopter was carrying a distinguished group of passengers, including George Saitoti, the then Internal Security Minister, his Assistant Minister Joshua Orwa Ojode, 2 skilled pilots and 2 loyal bodyguards. They had been en route to a Harambee event in Dhiwa, Homa Bay County, when tragedy struck in the heart of Kajiado North constituency. As the nation grappled with the grim aftermath, questions began to surface, shrouding the incident in an eerie mystery. Saitoti's family would later reveal that the late minister had lived a life veiled in secrecy, surrounded by a select few who knew his whereabouts at any given time. He shunned public gatherings and kept even his favorite hounds hidden from prying eyes. Though Saitoti was not known to have enemies, he clung to his trusted bodyguards and staunchly resisted any attempts to replace them. Despite his precautions, a lingering sense of foreboding seemed to shadow his every move. The nation found itself torn between 2 haunting possibilities. Was Saitoti's demise a tragic accident that blindsided everyone, or could it have been orchestrated by sinister forces eager to remove him from the political stage? Let's find out.
Hello, my name is Chief Okuzo from Plug TV.
Born in 1945 and raised in Ngong, Kajiado County, George Saitoti's educational journey took him from Ololua Primary School in the 1950s to Mangu High School in Thika between 1960 and 1963. His quest for knowledge led him to the United States, where he pursued his undergraduate education at Brandeis University from 1963 to 1967. His academic excellence earned him the prestigious Brandeis Alumni Achievement Award in 1988. Continuing his academic odyssey, Saitoti ventured to the United Kingdom, earning a Master's of Science degree in mathematics from the University of Sussex in Brighton. He further pursued his passion for mathematics, completing his PhD in mathematics at the University of Warwick in 1972. His dissertation, supervised by Professor Luke Hodkin, delved into the intriguing realm of algebraic topology, specifically focusing on the topic of MOD-2K theory of the second iterated loop space on a sphere. Upon returning to Kenya in 1972, Saitoti embarked on a career as a mathematics lecturer at the University of Nairobi. His contributions extended beyond academia. He played a pivotal role in establishing mathematics as a discipline in Africa. In 1976, during the first Pan-African Conference of Mathematics, or rather mathematicians, held in Rabat, Morocco, Saitoti contributed to the creation of the African Mathematical Union, AMU, and was subsequently elected as its vice president, a position he held until 1979. George Saitoti's distinguished academic credentials, combined with his unique political attributes, positioned him for a remarkable journey through public service. He held various prominent positions before being appointed as vice president in 1989 by President Daniel Arap Moi. Saitoti went on to become Kenya's longest-serving vice president, holding the office for a remarkable 13 years. First from May 1989 to January 1998, and then again from April 1999 to August 2002, after Moi's decision not to name a successor. Saitoti's resilience was evident during the tumultuous era of the Golden Bag scandal in the 1990s, when he served as the finance minister and survived a severe bout of food poisoning. President Moi suggested that the same individuals responsible for the assassination of Foreign Affairs Minister Robert Ouko in February 1990 were behind Saitoti's poisoning. This ordeal left Saitoti so paranoid that he insisted on having his food tested before consuming it, even in the presence of welcoming dancing women's groups during the public events in Kajiado. In the weeks leading up to his tragic death, Saitoti had expressed concerns about an attempt on his life.
If we allow the forces of darkness and prejudice to divide us again, if we descend into the depths of violence, as we did in the aftermath of the last elections, the world will give us no second chance.
Just 2 days before the fateful incident, he exhibited an unusual level of caution. While attending on an MP's function in Mombasa, rather than staying in his distinguished room, he opted to book in a different hotel. These actions painted a portrait of a man living on the edge, gripped by fear.
George Saitoti was supposed to spend the night on this bed in this room. After all the members of parliament who listened to his speech that day were booked in this very same hotel. But he didn't. He instead booked another hotel within Mombasa from Nairobi and went and slept there, giving the key to this room to one of his bodyguards. His bodyguard spent the night here and left the following day, even leaving with a key card. But why George Saitoti never spent the night in room 213, we may never know.
Saitoti had significant plans for the future, including tabling a report in parliament on illegal drug trafficking in Kenya, where he intended to unveil the names of those involved. He also harbored ambitions of running for the presidency in the March 8, 2013 general election. On that fateful day, the Interior Cabinet Minister George Saitoti, his assistant Orua Ojode, 2 valiant pilots and 2 devoted bodyguards were poised to embark on their journey to Ndhiwa. In the 7th minute of their flight, Captain Luke Oyugi, the pilot, radioed Wilson Airport's control tower, indicating that a landing was imminent in 1 minute. The control tower acknowledged the message, conveying their wishes for a safe journey.
Control tower.
Tower Falcon 230 will be checking zone out in next 1 minute.
Falcon 230 118.5. Center 118.5. Good day, sir.
Good day.
Unexpectedly, instead of proceeding to Ndhiwa, the helicopter abruptly changed course, retracing its path back to Wilson Airport. 10 minutes after takeoff, tragedy struck, and the helicopter plummeted from the sky, claiming the lives of all on board. In the wake of this heart-wrenching event, a commission of inquiry led by Justice Kalpana Rawal was convened to investigate the incident. The probe unearthed perplexing details. The helicopter exhibited normal flight trajectory for 6 minutes before losing all communication with the control tower. For 3 minutes preceding the crash, there was no pilot input. The commission proffered multiple theories on the cause of the crash, including the possibility of pilot error due to inexperience in flying in adverse weather conditions. Additionally, it was revealed that the helicopter's battery had been inadequately maintained and could have triggered a fire if overcharged. Perhaps most unsettling was the Commission's revelation that Saitoti and the others may have suffered from severe carbon monoxide poisoning. Government forensic pathologist Dorothy Njeru and Amritpal Kalsi informed the inquiry that Saitoti's body exhibited significant levels of carbon monoxide poisoning, evidenced by a cherry-pink discolorization of body tissues. a telltale sign of this deadly gas. They disclosed that this poisoning had affected at least 30% of the blood and tissues sampled, which would typically induce drowsiness, fatigue, and disorientation in a victim. Notably, their findings contradicted a prior post-mortem report by Dr. Johansen Oduor, a government forensic expert, which had failed to identify carbon monoxide poisoning. An analysis by Assistant Government Chemist Joyce Warimu Njoya indicated negative results for Saitoti and Gituanja, but a staggering 68.6% carbon monoxide poisoning in Captain Oyugi. The inquiry also uncovered traces of soot in the tracheas and respiratory systems of the deceased, suggesting that parts of the helicopter may have been ablaze while still in flight. This theory gained further traction when it was revealed that the helicopter had received subpar servicing just 200 hours after being flown from Johannesburg, South Africa. Moreover, the pilots initially slated to fly the helicopter were different from the ones who ultimately did. Despite the extensive investigations, the answers surrounding George Saitoti's tragic end remain elusive, and the enigmatic loose ends persist to this day. One of the most perplexing twists was the survival of Saitoti's mobile phone, which emerged intact from the crash. It fell into the hands of a police corporal, Evans Kiprotich, who used it for a month without detection by authorities. Kiprotich was subsequently arraigned in court, charged with theft and handling stolen property, and fined a nominal sum of 30,000 Kenya shillings. The demise of George Saitoti's remains an enduring mystery marked by unanswered questions and haunting uncertainties that continues to perplex Kenya and its people. That is it for now. Thanks for watching. Let's meet next time. Bye-bye.